Morning, Year 2. It is an inset day at Begbrook today, which means that for the first time in 3 months, I get to be in the same room as... We're back together again.
Hi, Year 2, welcome back. We're really excited for our next bit of learning.
We are going to start by reading you our new story, which is Clarice Bean, That's Me.
Clarice Bean, That's Me, by Lauren Child.
I know lots of people. Most of them are in my family. A lot of them live in our house, and some of them just visit. There's usually a lot of noise, and we are always at 6s and 7s, but that's the way we like it. Sometimes I think I could do with a bit of peace and quiet. Hard to find in our house.
Chirp, Grandad's canary. Grandad, asleep as usual. Cement, our dog. My younger brother, Lionel Cricket. Me, Clarice Bean. My older brother, Kurt. My mum, wondering where she's left her purse. Mr. Gilbert, our plumber. My cousin, Yola. Uncle Ted. My dad on the phone. My older sister, Marcy. My cousin, Noah. I don't know who this is.
This is me, Clarice Bean. I haven't got a watch, so I've written one on my arm in biro. I like peace and quiet, but I don't get much in my room. I'm always busy rushing about. My room is small, so I have to squash everything in. I like to have lots of things, just in case. I have this younger brother, Lionel Cricket. We have to share, so I have drawn a line down the middle. If he puts one toe over my side, he is sorry. Lionel Cricket likes to hang upside down until he turns purple. Then he sort of wriggles around like a maggot. Sometimes I say, I haven't got time for all your nonsense. And he says,
Twit.
and I say, twit and a half. And he says,
Twit with carrots in your ears.
and then I flick his nose with my ruler and he says,
Mum.
in this really whiny brother way. And Mum says,
No flicking noses with rulers.
and I say, what do you flick noses with then? And she says,
Celery.
and I say, we've run out. And she says,
No flicking noses then.
my sister Marcy has a room of her own, so she has peace and quiet whenever she fancies. Marcy likes to wear makeup and read about boys. When I have time on my hands, I peep round the door and try to make her notice me. She says,
Go away.
and I say, why?
Because I don't want to talk to you.
Why?
Because you are very irritating.
Why?
Because you are a little brat.
Why?
You'd better get out my room before I count to 10.
And I don't need to ask why. My older brother Kurt is usually in his room with his door shut. He doesn't talk much, but he wears t-shirts with writing on them. They say,
Shut up and go away.
Mum says.
He's at that difficult age.
Dad says.
He should try being 44.
Mum says.
It's not easy being a teenager.
Dad says.
It's no picnic being the father of one, and it would help if he would stop grunting.
Mum says.
He's in the dark tunnel of adolescence.
But usually he's in his room. Kurt says.
No one understands me.
Kurt says he wants to be left alone. Lucky for him, he has a room all to himself and it smells like socks. It's all right for Dad. When he wants to be left alone, he goes to work.
I'm going bananas here, Bernard. I can't talk now. I've got another call coming through. This thing's going down faster than a sinking souffle.
He has a smart, marbly office. It's wall-to-wall windows and office equipment. He has a swivelling chair and a desk the size of a bed. It's full of important business and you can only get to talk to him if Miss Eglinton buzzes you through. When Dad wants some peace and quiet, Miss Eglinton says,
I'm afraid he's in a meeting.
i.e. buzz off. Really, he's eating tutti frutti ice cream and listening to Frank Sinatra on the stereo. Grandad spends all his time having peace and quiet. He is most often asleep in a chair with a cat on his head. My brother Meinl and I like to jump on him and snip his moustache with Mum's nail scissors. Sometimes Grandad and me play snap. Grandad's eyesight is on the blink, so normally I win. He says,
Is that a jack of hearts?
and I say, no, it's 3 of spades, Grandad. Yesterday, he poured a carton of soup on his cornflakes. He said,
I think this milk's a bit off. It looks a bit lumpy.
I said, I think it's pea soup, Grandad. When Mum wants some peace and quiet, she balances on one leg in her bedroom or listens to whales singing in the bath. Sometimes she has candles round the edge that smell. Other times she plays one of her Learn a Foreign Language in a Fortnight tapes. She's doing Mandarin at the moment. So far she can say,
I've spilt custard on my cardigan.
and
There's a spider hiding in my hotel room.
she likes speaking in other languages. It makes her feel like she's on holiday. Sometimes she'll say,
Jeg er dødtræt af jer alle sammen.
which means,
I've had it up to here with the lot of you.
in Danish. When I get a bee in my bonnet and Mum needs some peace and quiet, she says,
Go and run about in the garden.
this usually does the trick. Sometimes I chuck potatoes over next door's wall. Because I might want to be an acrobat, I have to keep nimble and flexible. I do this by scrinching into the laundry basket. Getting out is the tricky bit. I do balancing and smiling in tights. That's a very important part of acrobatics. There's no peace and quiet in the garden because there's this boy who lives next door. He likes to call over the wall. He says,
What are you doing? Can I play? I know you can hear me.
Grandad calls him Shouting Boy, but I call him Robert Granger. He always wants to know what I'm up to, and he always wants to do what I'm doing, which is normally twirling until I fall over. Robert Granger doesn't have any ideas of his own, except copying me. So I go indoors to do handstands quietly on my side of the room. Then Meinl starts playing football on my bed. He says he does it accidentally. I say, more like accidentally on purpose. I get cross. So I accidentally chuck his duvet out of the window. It lands on next door's dog and Dad gets in a row with the neighbours. Dad says,
Right now you are not the flavour of the month, young lady.
Meinl is grinning like a pleased twit, so I tip a bowl of spaghetti hoops on his head. I am in big trouble. Mum says I should try to think before I act. And she's right. If I'd thought about it, I would have put rhubarb crumble down his trousers. The only time my family is quiet at the same time is when we sit down to watch our favourite show, Martians in the Kitchen. The rest of the time is non-stop noise, but that's the way we like it.
Uncle Ted eating again. Dad, Yola, Noah, Minor Cricket not talking. Mum, Kurt smiling. Marcy painting her toes. Grandad awake. Fuzzy, our cat, cement. Our TV, Mum's purse. I don't know who this is.